Hello. I've always said when I make my recordings, I will attempt to just record through because if I keep looking at it, I will find different type of errors and guess what? It will never get done. So I am Dr. NichelleDionne and 56 years old, recently diagnosed with ADHD combination. However, I've been inside of all of these ADHD groups. I think I'm on this hyper focus journey to find out everything that I want to know about this. This wonderful diagnosis, but my aha moments. I've always seen that ADHD and creativity goes hand in hand. So artists, musicians, what else? I got them down. Artists, musicians. Let me see. Like I said, I got the stuff right here. Writers, inventors, the flowery stuff. And I'm not creative. Well, not in that sense. And I'm like, ADHD, creative? No, I'm not creative. Since my earliest known, my subject, my favorite subject has always been math. And I'm in the industry, information technology industry for 40 years. I start writing code in assembler, COBOL, Fortran. Moved on doing some stuff inside of C#, C, C++, Java, Python, and there was another programming language called TCL. So I've written code. So when it was like, I'm not creative because my career fields have always been in anything that's more logical, not on the creative side. So as I guess I can say I was kind of creative back then because I always found innovative ways to solve problems. So I guess it's still on the techie geek side, but on the innovative, thinking outside the box, creative, but it's more technical, I guess. I don't know. What do you think? So I've always found innovative ways to troubleshoot for errors inside the code. I would look at the code, and I remember I had a time that I was writing some code, and I couldn't figure it out. I would then go to sleep and then wake up. Oh, in my dreams, inside my dreams, I would locate the error inside the code and then go fix it, because back then we did not have our compiler that we were working with did not have a way to point at where the syntax error may be. We missed one semicolon. We had stacks, and I'm not exaggerating. Those who've been in the industry back then will actually agree with that. So it was like digging inside, looking for a needle in a haystack to find the arrow. And a lot of times it was that one semicolon. So I had to find ways to troubleshoot. Also, there are times when I would look at the monitor or look, because we would print it out, and the arrow would just pop off. It was like, pop, there it is. There's the error, go fix it. And then when I'm about to fix that problem, I could just feel the dopamine building up, and I knew it was going to be a win. And I also can look at the code and say, okay, I'll go ahead and try this, but I doubt if this worked, but I still did it. So I did go ahead. I'm just moving back and forth. So what I come to realize, creativity isn't about art or traditional forms of expression. It's about how we approach problems. And those problems come in with different ideas and opportunities, and also unique ways how those errors can be fixed, or those problems or the inductive, deductive reasoning, critical thinking. So I guess critical thinking could be some type of way of creativity. Again, because it's always saying, I've always seen people on the ADHD saying that they're creative, and I am not creative like that. With math problems, I used to look at math problems and I would see the math problem moving around. And I never solved the math problem on the way that the professor expected me to solve the problem, but the methodology always worked for me on my quiz. So if I found a different methodology to solve a problem, this is that right there, yeah, the computer screen turned blue. So I was like, it messed up. So it worked for me. So it is the ability we were able to, and also my son, to tackle challenges that did not have clear solutions. So I believe that's my superpower, and I actually get a high on that. So we tackle the problems differently, and it's whether it's a tricky part of a tricky code, designing a database. It required some creativity. So also on the creative side, because I'm now an educator, I can look at my students. I'm sure other professors can do the same thing. I can look at my students and I can tell when boredom is about to set in. I can tell when they have checked out. So this also allows me to change my modality of teaching. It tells me, okay, we need a real quick break. It may tell me it's time to do an engagement exercise, certain things like that. I also sometimes end up bringing in some type of real world analogy and have them look up certain things. So even as a professor, I can adapt, and I call it being fluid and adaptability when dealing with my students. So I guess that's creativity too. What do you all think? So one thing that I've learned since my diagnosis is our self-perception and how it plays tricks on us. And I used to think, after I started thinking, because I'm always trying to figure things out. So if I'm not painting, writing, because I've been writing a book for the last 15 years and I have not hyper focused on writing that book. So writing, I need to do it. But if it's not that, it's not creative. But that's not true. Creativity is about innovation. I usually can look, when I talk to my students, I'm like, okay, what's the next innovation that possibly will come based on where we are at now? Where is the need? What need do we have? So thinking about the innovation, like one innovation that I really, really do believe that's going to happen now is we will end up having our microwaves, instead of punch buttons, eventually it's going to be a swipe, because that's all we do. We swipe. We don't punch the button. So the next microwave most likely will be a swipe type of microwave. Watch. You're going to see it. You will see it. Also, a lot of times in my innovation, I would end up reaching out to other people. And this is where I'm like, okay, why can't these other people understand and see what I see that may happen? So there have been times that I've talked to somebody that was an expert in their area, and they would tell me, oh no, that would not happen. Matter of fact, I'm gonna give you an example. When I was junior in high school, so this is back in '84, I told my professor, my teacher, my high school teacher, that one day we will have monitors that allows us to engage and turn the screen on our monitor. It has to happen. My teacher's like, no, we don't have the technology to make that happen and all that stuff like that. What do we have now? So I guess I am kind of creative, but it's more on the techie geek side. So I want to ask you, for all of us with ADHD, we're wired differently to think different. I just want to come on and talk to you all about my aha moment on ADHD and creativity, because I don't know if you also have seen, especially if you're ADHD and you're seeing everybody who's that around you, they say that they're creative, but that's not your ADHD. You can also be a techie, a geek with ADHD, because our creativity comes with innovation, and finding things to do. We end up solving problems and looking at things from a different way from everyone else. So, what do you think? Let's keep the conversation going. And remember, your creativity, whatever form that you have, it is valid and valuable. I am Dr. Nichelle Dionne. I'll see you next time.